we're going to see some penetrating injuries. Here we have the heart, right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, and left ventricle. More like this. Here we have the lungs, and the pleura. First, the pleura passes superior to the first rib and to the clavicle. So if we are putting a central catheter, for example, we can perforate the pleura. So we should be careful with that, because if we perforate the pleura, we produce a pneumothorax. Next is the anterior, well, my draw is very awful, but the anterior wall of the heart is mostly by the right ventricle. So if we penetrate the heart like this, anteriorly, if it is in the sternal border, in the left sternal border, let's say in the fourth intercostal space, we would hit the right ventricle. If we first the layers that we pass through are obviously first skin, the muscles of the wall, the pectoral major muscle, the intercostal membrane, artery and vein, the thoracic artery and vein, the transversus muscle, thoracic muscle, and pericardium, and finally the myocardium of the right ventricle. If we, instead of doing it in the sternal border, we do it in the mid-clavicular line. First, we are going to damage first to the lobe of the lung. I put them like very separately, but first we hit the lung and then the left ventricle. So external border, right ventricle. In external border and for intercostal space, right ventricle. Mid-clavicular line, or between external border and mid-clavicular line, would be the left ventricle, and beyond the left clavicular line is just the left lung. If we penetrate in the sternal border at third intercostal space, we can hit the SA node, the sinoatrial node, and so we can have some arrhythmia. If we penetrate behind from the back in the vertebral bodies, a little to the right of the vertebral bodies, we hit the inferior vena cava. If we penetrate through the T9 to T11, for example, intercostal space, in the left is the spleen. And like T12 could be the kidneys.